Hello everyone, today I am doing a comparison between the Leuchtturm 1917 and the Artist's Loft journal. They both are a B5, they both are a soft cover, they are very similar notebooks except for the Leuchtturm has additional features and the price there's a big difference. So let's get started. As I said, they both are a B5, this means they're slightly bigger than an A5. The dimensions are 7 inches by 10 inches or 17.7 by 25 centimeters. The Leuchtturm has 121 pages and the Artist's Loft has 128 pages. As I said, soft cover. The Leuchtturm is slightly sturdier as a soft cover because it does have a pocket in the back. The Artist's Loft does not, so you can see this notebook is quite a bit more flexible. They both have an elastic strap. The quality looks like pretty much the same with both of them. They look very similar and they feel like nice quality. Then both have bookmarks. Artist's Loft are a little wider and shorter, and then the Leuchtturm, they're thinner and a little longer, and they both have that two-tone feature. As you can see, the silver and the navy, and then the gray and the white. Both pretty bookmarks. I prefer these a little more just because they're bigger and they don't look as flimsy as these guys. The actual cover is smoother on the Artist's Loft, and then I don't know if the camera picks this up, there is more of a texture with the Leuchtturm 1917. I personally prefer this cover. It's also a pretty color. Leuchtturm does not have this type of brown in their color palette anymore, but both are available in several different colors. You can go check that out. But this notebook feels nicer in your hands to hold because it is smoother. This one's a little bit rougher, but the actual cover is slightly thicker and stiffer with the Leuchtturm than it is with the Artist's Loft, so it might be a little bit more durable with the Leuchtturm. And here you can see the give of the elastic straps. And in the back there is no logo on the Artist's Loft, and then you have the Leuchtturm 1917 right there. And let's open it up. They both have a slightly thicker cover page. You can write your name and your address in the Leuchtturm. And then the key differences are the features in the Leuchtturm 1917 and the color of the paper. So Leuchtturm 1917 has 4 pages for a table of content right here. So that makes it more organized if you take a lot of notes, and it also has numbered pages, so if you want to refer back to your notes with the page number, that would be easier in the Leuchtturm 1917 to do. This is a lined one. The Artist's Loft is only available in this size, I believe, as a blank one and as a dot grid. As an A5, they also have graph, I believe, and lined, but as I said, this size only has 2 different versions, whereas Leuchtturm has blank, lined, dot grid, and I'm not sure if this one's also available as a graph. You'd have to check that out on their website. It also has a pocket in the back. Artist's Loft does not, and then archival stickers, and I believe the last 8 or 10 pages here are perforated, so you can tear those out. So these are the main differences between these two notebooks. If these extra features are worth it to you, then you might want to pay up for the price. If not, then you might be really well off with the Artist's Loft. Also, you can see the paper color. The light in here is really yellow since it's winter and the sun's really golden, but you can still see that this is just a plain white paper, and then this is a cream colored or ivory colored paper. I personally prefer the color of the paper And the Leuchtturm, I think it's easier on the eye, just feels nicer to look at. This is really bright and in your face. I don't really love super bright paper, but that's a personal preference. Both are 80-gram paper. The paper feels slightly thinner for some reason with the Artist Loft. I'm not sure why, but it does just a tad. But as you can see in a minute, it's essentially the same paper quality. Might have to do with the fact that this Leuchtturm uses a different paper than their A5 notebooks. This notebook is made in China. I believe their A5s are made in Taiwan, I believe. So that might have to do with the differences in the paper quality. So this paper is not as good as the ones in the A5s. And I'm actually a little disappointed with this paper. And when you look at the writing sample, they perform very similar. You have the fountain pen with the Leuchtturm, and then the fountain pen with the Artist Loft. And there's just a tad bit more feathering with the Artist Loft, but not really by much at all. It's like barely noticeable. And the biggest surprise is that the ghosting is actually worse in the Leuchtturm. You can see more show through. And then the fountain pen was just about to bleed through with the Leuchtturm, and then with the Artist Loft, it's also coming through a little more than the Leuchtturm. Just a tad more, but essentially I think it is pretty much the same paper quality. So I'm really impressed with the Artist Loft notebook compared to the Leuchtturm 1917. Because here's the thing, this notebook, the Leuchtturm 1917, retails on their website for $24. This one retails at Michael's for $5. So this notebook is almost 5 times the price of this notebook. So all the extra features considered, is it worth paying almost 5 times the money for this notebook? In my opinion, no. I don't know how well this notebook will hold up. I have not used this brand before. I just bought this recently, so maybe this will fall apart really quickly when I use it. I don't know about that, so that might play into this. If this really falls apart, I will do a durability video after I'm done using it, but bear with me. I have a lot of notebooks. I don't know how soon I'll get around to using this one, and I still haven't finished up this one either. So anyways, if you want a great little notebook for an amazing price, I highly recommend this. I still love Leuchtturm 1917, especially the paper in their A5 notebooks. I don't think this one is worth it with that paper quality they chose to use for these B5 journals. Maybe by now they switch back to a better paper in these, because I got this probably a couple of years ago, so they might have, gotten better paper in those again. I don't know. If you have any questions about these notebooks, feel free to leave me a comment. If you have experience with using these notebooks, I'd love to hear your opinion as well. If you enjoyed this notebook video, please give me a thumbs up, and for more videos, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.